Welcome to another deep dive from the Success Talks magazine. We always try to bring you these really inspiring stories, and today we're diving into the journey of someone who is really quite remarkable, Jeralyn Lawrence, a true powerhouse in law, and someone we are honored to have on the cover of our latest issue.
Yeah, it's funny. What's so captivating about Jeralyn's story is it's really so much bigger than just law. It's about leadership, resilience, and really building a fulfilling life.
Yeah, and how to do that while navigating all the complexities of family law. So, imagine this. You're in the sixth grade, and you already know you want to be a lawyer. That was Jeralyn. And her dad, he was a retired police detective, and he had a big impact. Right? They were already talking about law.
It's incredible, isn't it? Like when you think about the impact early mentors can have, those relationships can really shape our trajectory, And it's like that influence from her dad, it's there throughout her whole career, even through law school. He was there for her. That must have been powerful for her.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thinking about her career, it's interesting how it all unfolded. She first thought she wanted to be a prosecutor, but then ultimately decided on family law. What do you think? What prompted that shift?
Well, we know that her dedication to family law really grew after going through her own divorce and custody battle, all while her daughter was still young. Sounds like that personal experience really sparked this deep professional passion.
It's really remarkable, right, how life just kind of has these twists and turns and sometimes leads you exactly where you need to be. That experience, I'm sure, it gave her such a deep understanding of the emotional weight of these types of cases.
Absolutely. That empathy, It allows you to really connect with clients and advocate for their needs in a really powerful way. Have you ever had something happen in your own life that really changed your professional path?
That's a great question. Speaking of professional paths, Jeralyn was thriving at a large firm. She was a top biller at these key positions, but she still felt overlooked, even after all that.
That's something so many successful people feel, isn't it? Knowing your worth and having that courage to go make your own path, to go outside your comfort zone, that can be life-changing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what she did. Founded Lawrence Law, and you know what? Her entire team from that previous firm, they all followed her. It's incredible. The loyalty she inspires, that's a bold move.
Oh, absolutely. It makes you think about what it means to be a leader.
Yeah.
It's not just about your own success, but empowering your team, having that culture of respect and support.
It's a powerful lesson. And you know what else is interesting? Lawrence Law, their mission, it moved beyond just the litigation part of law to embrace these alternative dispute resolution methods like mediation and arbitration.
That's a significant shift.
Yeah.
I think it speaks to her leadership style and her commitment to actually finding solutions that genuinely work for these families.
Yeah.
It's about more than just winning in court. It's about figuring out what serves everyone involved, especially the kids.
So I want to ask you, how can we, in our own lives use this idea? How can we seek out alternative approaches to conflict and challenges? What would that even look like?
That is such a great question. I think it's about taking that step back, away from adversarial positions and instead figuring out how to collaborate, how to find solutions together. Jeralyn's doing it in her practice, right? So it's definitely possible.
Now let's talk about some of Jeralyn's amazing accomplishments. She's been president of the New Jersey State Bar Association. She's argued before the Supreme Court, won all kinds of awards for her work. The list goes on and on.
It's a lot to celebrate, isn't it? She's amazing, but it's important to remember that success doesn't just happen, It takes dedication, it takes perseverance, and a willingness to go outside of that comfort zone, just like we were talking about before.
You're so right. And it's inspiring to see that she didn't just stop there with her own success. She's really become an advocate for women entrepreneurs, for diversity and inclusion in law, and she's very dedicated to mentoring, to helping the next generation of lawyers.
I think that speaks to a different way of defining success, doesn't it? It's not just about you. It's about empowering other people, paying it forward, making a better future for everyone. And it's recognizing that success, true success, it goes way beyond any of your personal achievement.
Absolutely. But let's shift gears a bit. We've talked about her incredible success and all that. But leaving a secure position at a large firm to start your own company, that's got to be a huge risk.
Yeah.
What do you think some of the challenges were that she faced when she first launched Lawrence Law?
Oh, yeah. I mean, starting any business is tough, right? You've got all the logistics, the finances, the constant need to adapt. And, for Jeralyn, I bet one of the biggest challenges was just getting that name out there,
Yeah.
building a new reputation and attracting clients, especially in such a competitive field.
Yeah, it's one thing to be great inside an established firm, but when you're building a brand from nothing, that's got to be a whole other ballgame.
Yeah.
How did she get past that?
Well, it seems like she had a few things working in her favor. I mean, she had this really clear vision for what Lawrence Law was going to be, and she really understood her market. Plus, she had this great reputation for being just excellent at what she does, and her network was strong from all those years at the previous firm.
And her whole team went with her. I mean, that says a lot, right? Talk about trust and respect.
You got it. That loyalty it's just priceless, especially when you're just starting out. Provides that stability, continuity, that sense of shared purpose.
And speaking of purpose, that commitment to alternative dispute resolution, it really jumps out at you, right? It seems like that's a core part of their philosophy at Lawrence Law. Why do you think Jeralyn puts so much emphasis on that?
I think it goes back to what we were saying before about finding solutions that really work for families. I mean, litigation, it can get so ugly, so adversarial and emotionally draining, especially with these sensitive issues like divorce and custody.
Well, let's be real. It's expensive and it takes forever. That's a whole other layer of stress for everyone.
Right, exactly. So these alternative approaches, they offer a more collaborative way to resolve conflict, less confrontation, gives families a space to work through stuff with more understanding, a little less animosity.
Can you give us some concrete examples of what these alternative approaches would look like?
Sure. So like mediation, for example, that involves a neutral third party. They come in and facilitate the conversation and help both sides come to an agreement, something they both can live with. Arbitration is similar, but in that case, the arbitrator actually makes the final decision, after hearing all the evidence from both sides.
So it's like having a private judge almost, but they specialize in family law.
Yeah, you could say that. And these methods, they can be really helpful when people want to keep things private and have more control over the outcome, instead of the uncertainty and the public nature of going to trial.
It just sounds like a much better way of dealing with family law, more humane, which fits with everything we've heard about Jeralyn.
Right. It's acknowledging that families are complicated and that legal disputes, they should be solved in a way that tries to minimize harm and encourage healing instead of making things worse.
It makes you think, right? I mean, that's a message for anyone who's facing any kind of conflict or challenge, not just lawyers. Are there things in your own life where you think a less adversarial approach could lead to a better outcome?
It's a good question to think about. I mean, often if you can step back from that fighting stance, you open up all these more creative and collaborative solutions, just like Jeralyn's doing in her practice.
Now, the thing is, the legal world, it's always changing, right? New laws, new precedents, society's always shifting.
Yeah.
How does someone like Jeralyn keep up with all that? How does she make sure she's giving the best advice?
It's a great question, and it really shows how important it is to always keep learning in any job, but especially law. Jeralyn's really active in a lot of professional organizations like the New Jersey State Bar Association, and the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, things like that.
So staying connected with other lawyers, that's key for keeping up with new developments, best practices. It's like having your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the legal world.
Absolutely, but it's more than just networking. These organizations, they have these continuing education programs, seminars, workshops, all that stuff, so you can constantly keep learning.
Like a master class in specific areas of law. It's got to be so valuable to stay competitive.
Yeah, exactly. And she reads those legal journals too. She's always at conferences. Clearly, she really prioritizes that professional development on always finding ways to learn more, to broaden her knowledge base.
Oh, don't forget she's on that Supreme Court Family Practice Committee, which means she has direct insight into how the whole system is changing. That's incredible access.
That's a huge point, actually. Being involved in these committees and advisory boards, it keeps you informed, but it also gives you a chance to actually shape the future of law. You're not just watching the changes happen, you're helping to make them happen.
So it's really a combo of everything, isn't it? Formal education, networking, and that active participation in the legal world. That's how someone like Jeralyn maintains that expert level.
That's it. It's that commitment to lifelong learning, and accepting that law is always changing. It's never going to stand still. And that's what ultimately helps her clients because they know they're getting the most up-to-date advice.
Jeralyn's accomplishments are just so impressive in her career and with all her advocacy work. But running a successful firm, being a leader in the legal community, advocating for all these causes, that's got to be exhausting. How does she even find time for herself, for her personal life?
That's the question, isn't it? That's what everyone wants to know. It's a struggle for a lot of successful people. I think for Jeralyn, it's about setting those boundaries, prioritizing, and finding ways to recharge her batteries. She really emphasized that strong support system, both at work and at home.
Support systems are so important. It's like you can share the load, get advice, celebrate wins together.
You got it. And Jeralyn seems to have really built that kind of network, which is just vital when you're in a high-pressure career.
And she makes sure to take care of herself. Spend time with loved ones. Even the most successful people need to do that, prioritize their well-being and those close relationships.
Right, right. It's about finding that balance, pushing yourself to achieve those goals, but also knowing that you got to take care of yourself if you want to keep going long-term.
It's a lesson we can all learn from no matter what we do in life.
It is. Jeralyn's story, it really shows how important it is to find that place where your professional ambition and your personal life can work together and thrive.
Now let's talk about something that's obviously very important to Jeralyn, diversity and inclusion in law, something she's been championing her whole career. Why is this so close to her heart?
Well, law, like so many other fields, has struggled with representation and equity. There are all these systemic barriers that make it so hard for women and minorities to get ahead and to get to those leadership positions. It's a systemic problem that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be addressed not just because it's the right thing to do, but also because a more diverse legal system, it helps everyone, right? It brings in all these different perspectives and experiences.
Exactly. If the legal profession reflects the people it serves, it becomes more responsive, more understanding, and just better at delivering justice for everyone. It's about making sure everybody feels heard and represented.
And that's what she's fighting for, that's Jeralyn.
Yeah.
She wants to see a truly just legal system. And that means having all those diverse voices at every level, in the courtroom, in the boardrooms, everywhere.
And she's not just talking about it, she's actually doing it. She's creating that inclusive environment at Lawrence Law, making sure her firm looks like the community it serves.
I love that. Someone who's actually using their position to create positive change, create opportunities for others. She's really leading by example.
It really is. It's an example for the whole legal world and beyond. A reminder that we all have a part to play in making things more equitable and just no matter what we do.
Okay, so now let's talk about Jeralyn's thoughts on women and entrepreneurship. She clearly sees huge potential for women to be amazing business leaders.
Oh, for sure. She believes that women bring something unique to the table. A different set of skills and perspectives that are so important for innovation and growth in the business world. It's like this fresh energy, this new way of looking at things that the entrepreneurial world really needs.
What are some of the strengths that she highlighted that women bring to the table? What are those specific qualities that she sees?
She highlighted a bunch of really great qualities. First, she mentioned resilience. Women entrepreneurs, they often face these really unique challenges and setbacks, but they just have this amazing ability to bounce back, to keep going, to never give up. Obstacles don't stop them.
That grit, that determination, that's got to be so important when you're running your own business, when you're facing all those ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's that fire in the belly that keeps you going, that drive to succeed.
Exactly. And she also talked about how important it is for women entrepreneurs to have strong support networks, that community of mentors, advisors, peers, people who get what you're going through and can give you guidance and just cheer you on. That's so valuable. Like they say, it takes a village.
It really does. It's like having a team of cheerleaders who believe in you, who are in your corner through thick and thin. That support system can make all the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, she really stressed the importance of a clear vision. If you're a woman entrepreneur, knowing what you want to achieve, why it matters, and how you're going to get there, that keeps you focused, that keeps you motivated, especially when those challenges come up. It's like having a roadmap that guides you towards your goals.
It's that passion, that sense of purpose that just fuels you and pushes you to succeed.
Yes.
It's about believing in what you're doing and letting that passion carry you forward.
Exactly. And Jeralyn believes that when women combine all of that, the resilience, the network, and that clear vision, they can do anything. They become unstoppable forces.
She's living proof of that, right? She's built this amazing law firm, become a leader in her field, made a huge impact with all her advocacy work. It's pretty incredible.
It really is inspiring. Her journey, it's like a blueprint for anyone who wants to start a business or just make a difference in the world. It shows that anything is possible if you work hard, you're determined, and you stick to your values.
So for those listening who are feeling inspired by Jeralyn's story and are thinking about how to achieve their own goals, what are some of those key takeaways that we can take from her journey and apply to our own lives?
Jeralyn really stressed the importance of persistence, passion, and adaptability. Those three things, they're like the foundation of her success, the bedrock.
Can you break those down for us? What do each of those qualities mean? Really paint a picture for us.
Okay, so persistence, that means being willing to put in the work even when things get tough. It's about sticking to your goals even when you face those setbacks or roadblocks. It's that never give up attitude that's what separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's about pushing through those tough times and coming out even stronger on the other side.
Yeah, it's like not letting those challenges break you, but using them to make you stronger, to learn and grow from them.
Exactly. And passion, that's about finding something you really care about, something that lights you up and letting that drive you forward. When you're passionate about what you do, it doesn't feel like work. It fuels your creativity and it motivates you to just keep going, keep pushing forward.
It's like having that internal compass that guides you, that keeps you energized, even when things get tough.
You got it. And then adaptability, that's so crucial in the world we live in now. Things are changing so fast. It's about being open to new ideas, willing to learn, willing to change your approach when you need to be flexible.
Like a tree bending in the wind instead of
Yeah.
breaking. You got to
Yeah.
adjust to the changing landscape, and you got to be willing to change your course.
You got it.
Yeah.
Jeralyn believes that those three things, persistence, passion, and adaptability, they're the keys to success in anything you want to do. They're what she's built her incredible career on, that's for sure.
So if our listeners want to achieve their dreams, whether it's starting that business, moving up in their career, or just making a difference in their communities, embrace those three things. Let them be your guide.
Totally agree. Jeralyn's journey, it shows us that it's all possible. You just got to believe in yourself and take those first steps. And don't forget, success isn't just about getting to some destination. It's about the whole journey, the lessons you learn along the way, the people you impact.
And that's a great point. It's about the whole journey, not just the end goal. Now, I want to talk about mentorship, something Jeralyn really values, and it's clearly been important in her own development. She believes mentorship is crucial for women in law, and she spends a lot of time mentoring the next generation. It's like she's paying it forward.
It shows her commitment to making the path easier for other women in law, to making the environment more supportive, more inclusive. She's building a ladder for others to climb.
Why do you think mentorship is so important, especially for women in law? What benefits does it bring?
Well, there are a ton of benefits. First of all, it gives you access to someone who's been there, who's already gone through those challenges, and can offer advice and support based on their own experience. It's like having a seasoned guide to help you navigate the terrain, to point out the pitfalls and the shortcuts.
Yes, like having a map and a compass to guide you through that complex legal landscape.
Exactly. Mentors can also help you develop important skills, build your network, and just become more visible in your field. They can open doors for you, introduce you to people who can help you move forward.
Like having a champion in your corner, someone who believes in you and wants to see you succeed.
Right. And for women in law who often face all these unique obstacles and biases, having that mentor who understands those challenges and can offer support, that can be so powerful. They can provide that guidance and support when you need it most.
It can really help women overcome those barriers and achieve their full potential. Having someone who believes in them and helps them navigate those tricky situations.
Absolutely. And Jeralyn's dedication to mentorship, it shows that she really understands how important it is to nurture the next generation of women leaders in law. She's creating a legacy that's going to have a lasting impact on the whole profession.
It's a legacy that goes way beyond her own accomplishments and will continue to inspire and empower women lawyers for years to come. It's about leaving a positive mark on the world and paving the way for others.
It really is. It's a beautiful example of how one person can make such a difference, not just through what they achieve, but through investing in other people's success, through lifting others up as they climb.
Now, I want to bring up something we talked about before, about Jeralyn's philosophy of finding solutions that truly work for families. She really prioritizes her clients' well-being, especially the kids in those family law cases. It's about putting the family's needs first, not just winning in court.
Yeah, it's that compassionate approach, that recognizes how emotional and complex these cases are and how much they impact people's lives in the long run. She understands that it's not just about the legal stuff, it's about real people's lives.
So how does she actually put this philosophy into practice? How does she go beyond just the legal aspects of the case?
Well, we've already talked about those alternative dispute resolution methods, which are all about collaboration and compromise instead of that fight, fight, fight mentality. She's all about finding common ground and working towards solutions that are good for everybody involved, not just one side.
Yeah, that's a key part of her approach, but it feels like it goes even deeper than that, doesn't it? It's about how she approaches each case, how she interacts with her clients, how she makes them feel.
You're right. It's about how she connects with them on a human level. She mentioned that she always wants to make sure her clients feel heard, that they feel understood. And that's so important when you're dealing with these sensitive and emotional issues. She wants her clients to feel supported and empowered throughout the whole process, not just like a case number.
It's about creating that safe space, that supportive environment where clients feel comfortable sharing their concerns and working towards a solution that actually meets their needs, not just the letter of the law.
Exactly. And for Jeralyn, it's not just about winning, it's about helping families get through these tough transitions in a way that doesn't cause more damage, that promotes healing. She wants them to be able to move on in a positive and healthy way.
It's that holistic approach, right? It's
Mhm.
recognizing that these cases have a ripple effect and that the kids especially, they need to be protected and their well-being needs to come first.
Yeah, and that's what sets her apart, that compassion, that dedication to actually making a difference in people's lives. It goes above and beyond what's required.
There was something Jeralyn said that really stuck with me. She said, people don't remember what you said or what you did, but they remember how you made them feel. It's such a simple statement, but it's so true.
It's so true. It reminds us that human connection, it's so important, especially in a profession that can feel so impersonal sometimes. Like you're just a transaction, It's like kindness, empathy, genuine connection, those things, they make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, it's a reminder that how we treat people matters, that even those small acts of kindness, they can have a lasting impact.
Absolutely. And Jeralyn, she embodies that principle. She's not just a great lawyer, she's someone who truly cares about her clients, about helping them through these really tough times. She's a real advocate in every sense of the word.
And that's what people remember. Long after the case is over, that's her legacy. It's about more than just winning. It's about that human connection, that compassion.
It is. Her approach, it shows us that success isn't just about achieving our goals, it's about how we treat other people along the way. It's about leaving a positive mark on the world.
That's something we can all strive for, no matter what we do in life.
Now, I want to go back to something Jeralyn said about building your village and making sure there are no weak links in that village. It's an interesting way to think about it, right? It's about the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people, the people who will lift you up, not drag you down.
Like building a strong foundation, where each person plays a vital role in supporting your growth and your success. It's about choosing people who believe in you, who challenge you, who inspire you to be your best.
Exactly. Jeralyn's saying it's not just about how many people are in your network, but it's about the quality of those connections. It's about being around people who support your dreams, who will be there for you no matter what. It's about building a circle of trust.
It really is. A circle of trust where you can be yourself, share your ideas, and ask for guidance when you need it. A circle of trust where people celebrate your successes with you and help you get back up when you stumble.
That's it. And it sounds like Jeralyn, she's really good at creating that kind of village, With her mentors, her colleagues, her friends and family, they've all played such an important role in her journey. They've helped her become the amazing woman she is today.
Yeah, it's a testament to the power of relationships, right? And to the fact that we don't achieve anything alone.
We don't. We need people who believe in us, who challenge us, who keep us grounded, who remind us what's really important. We need our team, our cheerleaders, our support system.
And that's something to remember no matter what we're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. Now, we often talk about success, but we don't always talk about failure, which is kind of funny because it's such a big part of life, right? And especially in law, where things can be so unpredictable, setbacks, they're going to happen. It's how you deal with them that really matters.
That's so true. I mean, Jeralyn didn't talk specifically about failure in her interview, but it's definitely part of her story, implied in all that emphasis on persistence and resilience.
Right. She gets it. She knows that setbacks are part of life, and it's how you respond, how you bounce back that makes all the difference.
So can you unpack that for us a little?
Right.
What's the connection between those qualities and dealing with those inevitable failures.
Yeah.
How do you turn those setbacks into something positive?
Well, persistence means you keep going even when it gets hard, you know? When you hit that wall, you don't give up. And resilience, that's how you bounce back, how you learn from your mistakes, how you use those experiences to become stronger. You got to take those failures and use them as fuel, you know?
So it's not about never failing. It's about developing the mental toughness, the emotional intelligence to navigate those rough waters and turn them into opportunities to learn and grow.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure Jeralyn has had her fair share of setbacks and disappointments. But the fact that she's so successful, it tells me she didn't let those things define her. She learned from them. She adapted. She came back stronger. She didn't let those failures hold her back. She used them to propel her forward.
Failure's not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey, right? It's what you learn from those missteps that shapes you and in the end makes you more successful.
Exactly. Jeralyn's story shows that. She didn't let those setbacks define her. She used them as fuel, as motivation to achieve even greater things. She turned them into stepping stones on her path to success.
Now we live in a world that's changing so fast, and I think Jeralyn really hit the nail on the head when she talked about how crucial it is to be adaptable. It seems like that's been a key factor in her own career.
Adaptability, that's being able to roll with the punches, you know? To adjust to all those changes, to learn new skills, to embrace new ways of thinking. It's about being flexible, open-minded, and willing to get out your comfort zone when you need to.
Yeah, you got to be willing to try new things, to change direction when things aren't working. It's not enough to just rely on what you learned in school. You got to keep learning, keep growing, keep evolving.
And law, that's a field where things are always changing. New laws, new precedents, technology is always evolving. So if you want to stay on top of your game, you got to adapt. You got to be willing to embrace new ways of doing things.
Jeralyn's career path is a perfect example of that. You know, she wanted to be a prosecutor, then she shifted to family law, then she started her own firm. And along the way, she embraced all these alternative dispute resolution methods. She's not afraid to try new things, to change course when it makes sense.
Exactly. She's constantly learning. She's constantly growing. And that's why she's so successful. She's a true innovator in her field.
It's a good reminder for all of us, right? In today's world, adaptability, it's not just a nice skill to have, it's essential. If you're not willing to change, to adapt, you're going to get left behind.
You're going to get left in the dust.
They're true. We've talked a lot about achieving your own goals,
Yeah.
but I think it's important to remember that success is about more than just that. It's about using your success to help others, to make a positive impact on the world around you.
I love that. And Jeralyn, she gets that. She's committed to mentoring. She's advocating for diversity and inclusion. She's dedicated to finding solutions that actually work for families. She's using her platform to make a real difference.
She's not just climbing the ladder, she's reaching back to help others up. It's about making the world a better place, a more equitable and just world.
It's inspiring to see someone who's using their success to make a positive impact, you know, in a world where it's so easy to just focus on ourselves.
Jeralyn reminds us that true success, it's about using your talents and your resources to make a difference, not just for yourself, but for the people and communities around you. It's about leaving the world a better place than you found it.
Absolutely. And that's a legacy worth striving for, no matter what your goals are.
Now, let's talk about something people often bring up when talking about successful people.
Yeah.
Luck. Some might say that Jeralyn was just in the right place at the right time. But is it really all luck? Or is there more to it than that?
Luck can definitely play a role, no doubt about it. But I think luck is often what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And Jeralyn's story shows that she's created her own luck through hard work, dedication, and a willingness to go for it, to seize those opportunities when they came along. She's made her own luck by putting herself out there, by being ready when that door opened.
It's like she's made herself lucky by working hard, by building her network, by looking for those challenges that help her grow and learn.
Yeah, she's not just sitting around waiting for something good to happen. She's out there making it happen.
It's a good reminder that while we can't control everything in life, we can control how much effort we put in, what our attitude is, and how willing we are to embrace those challenges and learn from our experiences.
And those are the things that really matter, much more than luck. Those are the things that make a difference, that shape your success more than just, you know, being lucky. It's about taking charge. It's about making things happen.
Owning your journey, exactly. Now, remember earlier when Jeralyn talked about building that strong village and not allowing any weak links? It's like it's such a good visual, right?
Yeah.
It emphasizes how important it is to have the right people around you.
Totally. It's like laying a solid foundation for everything, your life, your career, and each person in that village, they have a role. They're supporting you as you grow, as you become more successful. It's got to be people who push you to be your best self, who inspire you, who challenge you.
It's about making sure those people are trustworthy,
Hmm.
people you can count on, people who share your values and get what you're all about. It's creating that circle of trust, right?
Yeah.
Where you feel safe, supported, and where you can be challenged to grow.
That's it. That safe space where you can be vulnerable, you can share your ideas, and, when you need help, you can ask for it without judgment. A space where everyone's celebrating each other's wins and helping each other back up when things get tough.
And Jeralyn, she's clearly done that throughout her career. She's got those mentors, colleagues, friends, family. They've all been there for her at different points.
Yeah, she's really good at building those relationships and then nurturing them. And her success is proof that surrounding yourself with the right people, it makes a difference.
We all need that, right?
Yeah.
That reminder that we're not in this alone.
No way. We need people who believe in us, people who challenge us, people who help us stay grounded, help us remember what matters most. Those are the people who make up our team, our support system, the ones who keep us going.
So important. And speaking of things that are important, I want to talk about boundaries.
Mm.
Jeralyn talked about setting those clear boundaries and really being present, wherever she is, whether it's at home with family or at the office.
That's got to be one of the hardest things, right? Especially if you want to have a good work-life balance. Avoid that burnout. It's about realizing you can't be everything to everyone and that it's okay to say no sometimes.
Right. You have to protect your time, your energy, your mental health. It's about being intentional with how you're spending your time and your energy, making sure you're making space for those things that really matter.
Totally. And it sounds like Geralyn's got that figured out. She's crushing it in her career. She's a present parent. She makes time for her community, and she takes care of herself, too. She's got it all going on.
She's a rock star. And it's inspiring for all of us who are juggling all these different things, right?
Yeah.
It shows us that with a little planning, with those clear boundaries and that commitment to putting those important things first, you can find balance. You can find fulfillment in every part of your life.
It's about finding that sweet spot where you can pursue your passions, have those strong relationships, and take care of yourself, all without feeling like you're drowning.
Now, there's this one thing Jeralyn said that it really hit me. Be a nice person and do the right thing. It sounds so simple, but it's so profound. Like, those are words to live by.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that sometimes, isn't it? It's a reminder that success isn't just about the end result. It's also about how you get there. It's about treating people right with kindness, with respect, with compassion, even when it's hard.
It's about making choices that you can be proud of, choices that make the world a little bit better.
Exactly. And Jeralyn, she lives that way. See, it's in everything she does. She shows us that you can be successful, you can be ethical, and you can be a good person all at the same time.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Jeralyn Lawrence's amazing story, what are some things our listeners can take away and use in their own lives?
Well, her journey is all about the power of persistence, passion, and adaptability. It shows us that success takes time. You got to put in the work, got to be dedicated, got to be willing to face those challenges head on and learn from every experience.
She also emphasized the importance of building those strong relationships, both personally and professionally. Finding those mentors who lift you up and then giving back to your community, making a difference.
And maybe most importantly, she reminded us that success is not just about checking things off your list. It's about how you treat others. It's about having integrity, being kind, being compassionate, and leaving the world better than you found it.
Jeralyn's story, it's a gift, a reminder that we can create a more fulfilling and meaningful life. And with a little hard work, some determination, and a commitment to those values, we can achieve anything.
Yeah, and if you want more inspiration from Jeralyn, more insights into her journey, go check out that full cover story in the Success Talks magazine. It's full of amazing advice and stories.
So as you're going about your day-to-day, think about those principles of persistence, passion, and purpose. What are you passionate about? How do you want to make a difference in this world? And how can you use your talents, your skills to reach your goals and create a life that's not just successful, but meaningful, something you're proud of?
Jeralyn shows us that it's possible. So go out there and make it happen. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving for a better tomorrow.